All right, I thought I'd throw something out there that's a little bit different than what we typically talk about in our practice. But we see people all the time that, like, physically, yeah, they're struggling a little bit, but they're mentally also in a tough spot in some cases on there. And I got to thinking about this concept a little bit with myself the other day, because I was like, I just need to get through this week. And I heard myself say, I just got to get through this week, that survival type of mentality with it. And the best way to explain it is, like, you're either in survival mode or you're in growth mode in some way. In other words, you're either moving forward or you're just trying to defend where you're at right now. And survival mode is high stress and typically not real fulfilling, and wears you out after a while. It burns you out really quick on there. So the question I always say is, like, what's your goal for your week on there? And the simple things I like to think of from a goal from a week perspective is that ultimately I'm looking, I want to grow in some way. I want to get better at something in some capacity during my week on there, whether it's a skill set I want to learn, whether it's challenging myself with something new, whether it's meeting new people, which kind of goes into the second piece on here. But I want to grow in some way during the week. Like, we as humans need to feel like we're improving. If we feel like we improve, there's a level of fulfillment that comes from that piece on there. Number two is that you gotta find more connection. This is something people struggle with right now, is that we live in a very lonely society. We've got these things in front of us all the time that we feel like we have a relationship with that thing or the people on the other end of that thing, when in all reality, like, we need face-to-face interaction with stuff. Like, we have to have it to fill us up in some capacity on there. So again, part of your week needs to be devoted to building that bond with your tribe, finding more connection, finding more depth of relationships that you have, and putting the distractions away so you can actually find that, whether it's your kids, your spouse, your friends, yourself, even for that matter sometimes on there. So you got to find more connection, more relationship with it. And lastly on there is you got to find some way to serve. And again, this can be looked at in so many different ways, but, like, how do you start looking outside of you versus just, what do I need? Like, we live in a very selfish society, a very, like, consumed by our own needs world we live in now. And again, it sucks the life out of you after a while. You don't realize it, but when that's your focus, when you are your only focus on there, you feel worse about yourself. When you focus on others and you're looking at, how do I serve that person in some capacity on there, that fills you up. It could be simple things as well too. It's a quick text to somebody that says, hey, you know what? Thinking about you today. Hope you have a great day. Hope you had a great day. Tell me about your day. Something like that. It's the taking the time when somebody stops to talk to you, put your stupid phone away and focus on it. Pay attention to them. Actually, like, serve them with your focus and attention, because that's a lost art anymore as well too on there. It may be something bigger. You may go over and help somebody with a project at their house that they didn't expect you to, but you heard it in a conversation and you call them on a Saturday morning, hey, you know what, are you still working on that project? I'd love to come over and help you out. Like, those things make you feel better about you. And those are your goals for your week. I'm not just trying to get through my week, but I'm actually going to thrive in this week. I'm not surviving, I'm thriving in some capacity of it. And again, back through them, like, you're going to serve in some capacity on there. You're going to focus outside of yourself. You're going to better your relationships in some way. You're going to spend more time deepening those relationships than you are just doing stuff on there. You earmark time specifically for relationships on there. And lastly, you're going to grow. Like, what things can you do? What can you focus on that you're going to get better at in some capacity? And part of that is like, you got to challenge yourself on it. These things are hard. All these things I just talked about are hard. You got to find some discipline around them. You got to schedule them into your day. You got to make them a focus and a priority. Otherwise, they will not happen. And that's the part of it, is that people are not doing that stuff right now. Therefore, they feel worse and worse about their life. They start to lose hope in it. And over the course of time, like I said, that starts to eat away at not just their days and their weeks, but at who they are as a person on there. So again, focus on those. Make that a goal of your week. Things will get better.